Hi, welcome to Lies and Secrets channel. We hope you will have fun with us. Enjoy watching. I had never even thought about sharing such a moment with a neighbor's dog before. But on that lonely Christmas Eve, as the snow fell softly outside, I found myself yearning for comfort. I just wanted to rest for a moment to escape the weight of solitude and let the quiet stillness of the holiday envelop me. Let me start with a little about myself. My name is Hazel Edward. I'm a 33-year-old woman living in a quiet suburban town. I've always been a plus-size woman with soft curves and a figure that measures 40 inches at the C*******T, waist and H******. It's taken years to accept and love myself as I am, though society often tells me otherwise. My husband Arthur has always told me I'm beautiful, and I believe he means it. Arthur is everything a woman could ask for in a husband. He's handsome, hardworking, and an incredible father to our kids. We've been married for 10 years, and while I love him dearly, there's a part of me that feels incomplete. You see, Arthur is often busy with his work, and when he's home, he's either exhausted or preoccupied in the bedroom. Things have been underwhelming, to say the least. I've always been loyal, always tried to focus on the good in our marriage. But a woman's heart and her body craves more than just routine. Craves connection. That Christmas Eve, I poured everything into creating the perfect holiday. I decorated the house with garlands and fairy lights, baked cookies and wrapped presents for the kids. The house looked like something out of a Hall Arthur movie. I wanted everything to be perfect for. When Arthur and the kids got home from visiting his parents, I stayed behind to prepare, eager to surprise them. As the hours ticked by, the silence in the house grew heavier. The loneliness I'd been pushing aside for years crept in, settling like a cold weight on my C******T. I sat by the window watching the snow fall and felt a longing I couldn't quite put into words. It was more than just the absence of company. It was a yearning to feel truly seen and understood. That's when I noticed Cooper, the neighbor's German shepherd, in the backyard. Cooper often wandered over to our house. He was a playful, gentle dog who loved attention. I opened the back door and he came bounding in, shaking snow from his fur. His big brown eyes looked up at me, full of warmth and understanding. It was as if he could sense the ache in my heart. I gave him some treats and sat down on the couch. Cooper hopped up beside me, resting his head on my lap. For a moment, I felt an odd sense of comfort. His presence reminded me of something I'd been missing: simple, unconditional companionship. I stroked his fur and let out a sigh. I didn't realize I'd been holding. As the evening wore on, I talked to Cooper as if he were an old friend. I told him about my frustrations, my dreams, and my fears. He listened silently, his ears twitching every so often, and I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It was cathartic to speak my heart aloud. Even if the one listening couldn't respond, the hours passed and the house remained quiet. I had set the dining table with care, imagining the laughter and joy that would soon fill the room. Yet the empty chairs seemed to mock my efforts, and I began to wonder if my life had become a series of acts to please others while neglecting myself. Cooper stayed close, his presence a steady reminder that I wasn't entirely alone. We sat by the fireplace, the glow of the flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. I ran my fingers through his fur, grateful for the simple solace he provided. I found myself tearing up, overwhelmed by the weight of my emotions. Cooper licked my hand gently, as if to say it's okay. As I sat there, Cooper's affectionate gestures grew bolder. He nudged my arm insistent and rested his head on my shoulder, his warm breath tickling my neck. I laughed softly, whispering, "You're such a sweet boy, Cooper." But soon his behavior took an unexpected turn. He pressed closer, paying at me and licking my cheek fervently. For a moment I thought he was simply seeking comfort. Kindred soul responding to my loneliness. I let him hug me, his paws resting on my shoulders, and even said the top of his head in return, feeling a strange mix of affection and vulnerability. But then Cooper's energy shifted. His actions became more intense, almost insistent. After that, I got lost in him too, risking my marriage and everything I had, and once we had done, he wanted me more. He started getting close to me again after then. I pushed him back gently, murmuring no. Cooper, that's enough. He stopped, his big brown eyes, staring at me with a flicker of what seemed like hurt. I felt a pang of guilt, but I knew I had to draw a line. Cooper retreated to the other side of the room, lying down with his head on his paws, his gaze fixed on me with a mixture of confusion and sadness. It was as if I had broken some unspoken bond, and the realization left a knot in my C********T. When Arthur and the kids finally came home, the house filled with laughter and chaos, I tucked my feelings away, putting on a smile as I watched them open their gifts. Kids were thrilled with their new toys, and Arthur gave me a warm K******S on the cheek, thanking me for making everything perfect. But that night, after everyone was asleep, I lay awake in bed, staring at the ceiling. The next morning, I made a decision. I couldn't keep ignoring my own happiness. I needed to talk to Arthur to tell him how I'd been feeling. It wasn't an easy conversation, but it was necessary. To my surprise, Arthur listened. He admitted he'd been distant and promised we'd work on reconnecting. We started setting aside time for just the of us, rediscovering the love we'd once had. I also began focusing on myself. I joined a local book club, started journaling, and even signed up for yoga classes. Slowly but surely, I began to feel more like the Hazel I'd lost. Along the way, I spent time rediscovering old hobbies like painting and baking, which brought me joy for no other reason than the process itself. These small changes made a world of difference. One day, weeks after that Christmas Eve, I saw Cooper in the backyard again. This time, I went outside to greet him. We played fetch in the snow, his energy infectious and uplifting. I realized how much his companionship had meant to me that night and how he'd given me the courage to face my emotions. Cooper wasn't just a neighbor's dog. He'd become a symbol of the changes I needed to make in my life. I began incorporating walks with Cooper into my daily routine. Our time together became a ritual, one that allowed me to clear my mind and reconnect with myself. As the seasons changed and winter gave way to spring, I found myself looking forward to those moments of peace and clarity. Looking back, that Christmas Eve was a turning point. It wasn't just about loneliness. It was about realizing that I deserved to be seen, heard, and loved, not just by others but by myself. And while Cooper may not have understood the role he played that night, I'll always be grateful for the quiet comfort he gave me when I needed it most. Christmas is still my favorite time of year, but now it's not just about creating magic for others. It's about finding it within myself, too. The lessons I've learned from that night continue to shape me. I've realized that life isn't about perfection, but about presence. Whether it's a heartfelt conversation with a loved one or a quiet moment shared with a loyal companion like Cooper, it's these connections that truly make life meaningful. Dear friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave a comments.